First and foremost, I would like to greet you a pleasant, wonderful day, everyone, especially to our teacher in History of Mathematics, no other than Sir John. A wonderful day, sir. Today, I'm going to present about the Week 1, the Unit 1, Early Number System and Symbols, presented by Group 1. So our topic is all about a sense of number, notches and tally marks, and the Peruvian quipus, knots as numbers. Learning objectives. Number 1, the roots of the mathematics. Number 2, the history of numbers and symbols. Number 3, the notches as tally marks. Number 4, the Peruvian quipus, knots as numbers. Introduction. Mathematics involves the study of issues of a quantitative or spatial nature, number, size, order, and form. It is an activity that has been present from the earliest days of human experience. Meaning, mathematics is all about study of number, symbol, and operations that basically introduced in the earliest days and used in our daily life. Next is the roots of mathematics. Mathematics, derived from the Greek word mathemata, has been present in human history since ancient times. Meaning, mathematics was considered come from the Greek word which mean mathemata and that indicate in ancient history. Next is the Pythagoreans are said to have used it to describe arithmetic and geometry. Previously, each of these subjects had been called by its separate name with no designation common to both. So first of all, Pythagorean is the name of the followers officially led by Pythagoras, an ancient Greek philosopher, has greatest contribution of mathematics. The Pythagoreans' use of the name would perhaps be a basis for the notion that mathematics began in classical Greece during the years from 600 to 300 BC. During classical Greece, the Pythagoreans introduced and his famous contribution of the mathematics, the Pythagorean theorem. 3 or 4,000 years ago, in ancient Egypt and Babylonia, there already existed a significant body of knowledge that we should describe as mathematics. In Egypt and Babylonia, it already existed mathematics. They used arithmetic and geometry for their building construction and for astronomy. Next is the history of number and symbols. Anthropologists tell us that there has hardly been a culture, however primitive, that has not had some awareness of number. Through it, it might have been as rudimentary as the distinction between 1 and 2. So anthropology is the study of aspects of humans within past and present societies. They discovered that in ancient time, the only number they know is between 1 and 2. Certain Australian Aboriginal tribes, for instance, counted to 2 only, with any larger than 2 now called simply much or many. In Australian people in ancient time, they counted number 1 to 2 only. If the number is greater than 2, they called it much more or many. For example, they counted to 10 is equals to 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2. With just 2 words beyond 10, the descriptive phrases become too long. As we can see in the example, they use number 2 only to express larger number. The term tally comes from the French verb tailor, to cut. Like the English word tailor, the root is seen in the Latin tailor, meaning to cut. The meaning of tally are the form of numeral used for cutting. They can be true of as unary numeral system. Counts were maintained by making scratches on stones, by cutting notches and wooden sticks or pieces of bone, by trying knots in strings of different colors or lengths. So, different strategies of presenting tally marks, such as using stones, cutting a stick, using bones, and tying knots. So let's proceed to the notches as tally marks. Tally marks, it is a form of numeral used for counting. The general way of writing tally marks is a group or set of 5 lines. The first 4 lines are drawn vertically, and each of the 5th line runs diagonally over the previous 4 vertical lines. Tally mark, it is a form of a numeral used for counting. Tally marks is one of the useful strategy that in history they use this to tally their winning, body counts of hunting, loan, number of families, and many more. In writing the tally mark, it is a group of 5 lines. The first 4 lines drawn vertically, while the 5th line runs diagonally over the previous 4 lines. Example. So this is the example of tally marks. Notches were carved into the bone to denote a number with tally marks, which could be considered the first tally chart to show a form of data collection and representation. The old Stone Age people appear to have developed a system of grouping counting as early as 30,000 BC based on bone objects with engraved markers. Bone artifacts bearing incise markings seem to indicate that people of the Stone Age had devised a system of tally by groups as early as 30,000 BC. The most expressive example is a shin bone from a young wolf found in Czechoslovakia in 1937, about 7 inches long. The bone is engraved with 55 deeply cut notches, more or less equal in length, arranged in groups of 5. The most striking example is a 7 inches long shin bone from a young wolf that was discovered in Czechoslovakia, 1937. The bone was stitched with a 55 deeply curved, about equal length notches that were grouped in groups of 5. The tibia or shin bone is a bigger bone in our body that is located in our leg. Further explore the tally marks. Even in this era, we also use tally marks in our daily lives, such as tallying and winning score, solving problems, and many more. A lot of people use this strategy to make it easy for them to analyze and to know the numbers. So let's proceed to the Peruvian quipus nuts as numbers. A quipu, also spelled quipu, kipu, or kipu, is an intricate system of knotted or knot strings of various colors that store and convey information. Kipu literally translates to knot in Quechua. During the Peruvian times, they used knots as numbers. The system of counting numbers is made by string to form a knot to get some information and indicate numbers. The kipu was made of a thick main cord or crossbar to which were attached fine cords of different lengths and colors. Ordinarily, the cords hung down like the strands of a map. At the Peruvian era, they don't know how to write numbers. So, quipu is made of strings, which is thick and fine cords. Thick cords is attached by fine cords. Fine cords has a dissimilar size and colors. This is an image of quipus were important in the Inca Empire because apart from these knots, no system of writing was ever developed there. So at the Peruvian era, they don't know how to write numbers. That's why the Inca Empire used knots, and it is important to them the way they counted, etc. How do you read a quipu? These are the knots in quipu represented by 1 to 9 numbers. Counting quipus from 1 to 9, when you tie the fine cord into 1 is counted by 1. When you tie the string twice, it will be counted as 2. You can proceed by tying until the number of tied is equivalent into the specific numbers. The highest values are at the top of the string, then lower value as you make your way down. A space separates each value set: 10,000, 1,000, hundreds, tens, and single digits on the string. In each value have a separate space like 1,000, 100, tens, and also ones. The top of the string is the higher value and it's going downward. For example, this is the illustration of quipu. So as we can see, 132 plus 417 plus 3 is the 132 is tied by fine cord in a separate space according to their value and also the number 417 and 3. After that, you can align the placing value of a knot and add it all based on their specific value where they belong. The answer must be attached at least last number, which is 3. So in conclusion, the history of mathematics is a long and rich one that has played a crucial role in shaping the world we live in today. Mathematics has evolved over the ages, from simple calculation to complex theories, and has been used to solve practical problems. And that will be the end of our presentation. Hopefully you clearly understand our topic and you learn knowledgeable things. Thank you so much. So our members is Mark Anthony Lagrosa, Mark Lester J. Lanzo, and Jara Jekiri.